Hello, my name is Matt Richer, and I am the owner of New Hope Photography. I am also someone who enjoys marketing and learning about marketing and branding. So I have delved into the world of Facebook marketing, how to build your ads, how to write copy. When it comes to Facebook, there's a lot of things that you can do to maximize your ad dollars while getting the most reach. The most common thing we see is the boost post button there, which is great depending on what you want to use it for. A lot of times you're just paying Facebook to show your image to people who already like your page just so that you can feel good about yourself. This is not effective. So there are two big places that you can spend your money on the internet. We have Google, which rakes in billions of dollars a year with advertising, and we have Facebook. But what's the difference? What's the best option? Think about it though, when you see ads for Google, are you just sitting on Google and wasting time? No, you're searching for something. You're searching for best Thai food near me, and you see those top two options that say ad and have, the best Thai food supposedly near you. With Facebook, many of us spend hours and hours a day on there wasting time, procrastinating, and we just stumble upon ads that are in our feed. These are directed to us because of our buying habits, our patterns, our clicks, our likes, male, female, your age, anything that you can name, people choose to target you through to reach their ads. So one of the biggest things is through Facebook, you need to test your ads a lot because you're going out to search for those clients. You may have the best idea of what your target market is, but you need to see which image, which ad copy, which button, which overall ad is going to get the most attention from your clients, because we're bombarded with ads every single day. So many times this is something that's, I don't know how to put it, like we're overwhelmed, and so we've become smart to the ads. So as photographers, we need to ask ourselves, are we providing a service that somebody's going to be searching for, or do we need to be seen? Is it something that we can attack and go get? Many times someone gets engaged, they might go on Facebook and, peruse through things and see what who their friend's photographer was. But many times Google is going to be an option that future brides are going on and searching for wedding photographers near me or best photographer Colorado. Any number of search terms they might search for. If you are a family photographer, having your ads on Facebook and creating brand awareness might be something that you want to think about, because yes, people may go on Google and search for a family photographer, but if you have ads constantly in their feed, by the time it comes time for their family pictures, you may be already in the forefront of their mind. So these things are items that you need to keep in mind while thinking about where to create your ads. So, we could sit here and stare at me all day, but that's not really going to help you with Facebook and marketing and all that jazz. So let's jump into the computer and we will walk through how to create an ad and how best to utilize Facebook ads, hopefully for you. Hello everybody, so here we are in the Facebook ads homepage. You'll have to set up your ad account first. Just Google how to do that. There's plenty of things to show you how to do that. I'm not going to waste my time because people already have done that. So in order to get started, you're going to have to do that. But when you open this up, you'll need to go in here to the top right where it says create an ad. All of these that you see down here are ads that I've created in the past that have expired and no longer delivering. I'm not sure when I created this one here. So we're going to go ahead and click on this. When you click on your to make an ad, it will bring you to this screen. So this is where you choose your objective. Now, the objective is self-explanatory, but Facebook also gives you this fancy little information button here to show you what these things do. So brand awareness, this kind of just will show your ad to people who possibly will be interested in you. Reach, this one is just going to the maximum number of people. Traffic, this is the one you want to use when you want to send somebody to a landing page on your website or Messenger, something like that. Engagement, if you want people to like your page, if you have an offer that you want to do, like mini sessions or free engagements or something like that, you'd want to use engagement. Probably you're not going to use app installs for photography. If you created a video, this one just shows your content to people who tend to view videos for longer rather than people who just scroll by them. Lead generation, this one's been interesting. I've tried to use this one a couple more times just to see how it works and what happens. I really haven't had the high enough budget to fully use it. But if you have a high enough budget, this one's an interesting one because people will actually click and fill out a short form that gives you your email and information. So if you're looking to create a email list for people who might be interested in your mini sessions or somebody who might be interested in an offer that you do yearly, this might be a great option for you. The conversions are, these are people who tend to click on things and go to websites for the ads more often than not. These ones are probably less likely to be yours. But let's see. Usually I tend to do the traffic one just because I like to send people to my website, to a landing page that I've created. Now, one of the most interesting things is Facebook has done this thing where you can split test your ads. So you can scroll over this and do this, but basically what it does is you can use the same ad, but you can use it to test, if you think that your target market, I'm a wedding photographer, so I'm going to use that a lot, but translate it over to what you are. But say, people tend to get married between 21 and 35. Well, in marketing, that is a huge age range. So you kind of want to break that down and think, okay, what are the brides you want to target? You may already know that. You may already have a lot of brides that are getting to you, but your work might speak to a age level that you don't know. So maybe with this creating split test, you can have almost everything the same as far as demographics, but you break your brides down into 21 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35, and see which of those age groups are more likely to respond to your ads. Remember, each ad is unique, and so, you might have one ad that the 25 to 30 respond to, but you may not have an ad that the, 21 to 25 or the 30 to 35 respond to, but that might change depending on your ad. So creating a split test is super cool. Depending on if people are interested in it, I might do another video on that. But the campaign name, this is a good spot to organize yourself from the beginning. When you think of it, it's kind of like a flow chart. You have your campaign name, and then you have your ad set and things like that. So we'll get down into that. Don't worry about that for now. But for now, I'm going to call this Facebook. Apparently I can't do that. Traffic video. So since I'm creating this for the video, that's what I'm going to call it. So go to continue. Ad set name. So we have our objective and that thing. So now this is where we can kind of create what this set name would be. US 18 plus video. I'm just doing this for now. So like I mentioned earlier, this is where you can choose, if you want to send people to your website, to your app, or to Messenger. I'm going to be dabbling with seeing how it works sending people to Messenger. I like sending people to my website so that they can see my work and fill out my form. but if people are already on Facebook, maybe they'd like to stay in Messenger. So let's see. I might see what that's going to happen and do that. So this option here, you can create an offer. So, mini sessions or, a free engagement or whatever. So you can create an offer there, but I generally don't do that. So your audience is super important when you're creating your ad. And this right here is where you can also build saved audiences, as you see over here, for, if you want to boost a post. Instead of just boosting it to whoever Facebook decides, if you have saved audiences, you can choose who this is. I have a whole bunch of different things that I've chosen, and they're organized by certain things because each ad I kind of like change around. So those are my saved audiences. But let's create a new one. So also you can see here it says custom audience. This is huge. Facebook has some amazing abilities as far as targeting people. So if you know who you want to target, this is pretty rad. There's lookalike audiences is a unique thing because if you have people who, say you have an email list, you can import that email list and create an audience of people who are similar to those people and what they do online. It's kind of crazy, but I don't have email lists, so we'll just do something different. So let's first let's go with we're gonna choose. I like to choose my location first. So let's say I live in Colorado. So let's say I want to do, if I could spell, there we go. So Colorado, I can target just people in Colorado, or I can type in Denver, Colorado. Nope. Denver, Colorado City. As you do this, there's this little thing over here that tells you your audience size and the potential reach. This is interesting. So it's interesting to watch that. Think too, you can change your radius of miles. So if you want 10 miles within the city, you can do that. If you want to do 50 miles, you can do that. So if you want to target people in like a metro area or city around you, that's super awesome to do. For this one, I'm just going to do Denver, Colorado, and notice how my audience size is there. So that's something to pay attention to. If you wanted to do this as far as like a Denver and Salt Lake City ad, you could do both of them and target both those audiences. So, just remember, like I said, if you have the, radius picked, don't pick cities that are like, back to back to back. If this ad has potential to reach two different cities in the same way, you can do this, but less is more. So we are just going to do this. So we are in Denver. Now, if you want to switch your age, like I said, you can choose whatever you want. We're going to do 21. We're going to do 21 to 25. And the choice is up to you on this. Now, also, look at when this got changed, the audience size. We had 1,800,000 people, but then I switched to 21 to 25, and it dropped to 310,000. Now, that's both men and women. I like to choose brides when I'm doing this because usually they're the ones that are the most excited about photos. But that's another thing where with that split testing, you could do the same ad and choose men or women and see which one chooses your both. Coming down here, if you want to target English, just leave it. But say you only want to shoot people who speak Arabic and Arabic weddings, you can add this and it will target it to that. So you can do that. When it comes to Facebook marketing, there's a lot of things that I hear about when I'm perusing my Facebook photography groups. A lot of these have to do with that we're getting a lot less organic reach, that Facebook is charging too much, any number of complaints. But when you think about it, Facebook is a business. They're making money for their shareholders, just like we want to make money. And I really see no problem with them for charging for ads or keeping us from getting organic reach. Those things are something that happens across the internet. But with our Google websites, we just don't have that fancy little thing at the bottom of our post that says, organic reach 50 or whatever it is that you're getting. So next you move on to detailed targeting. So next we move on to detailed targeting. This is awesome because, we spend so much time on Facebook and we do so many things that Facebook can track what we click on, what we like, what companies we align our, identity with, all that kind of stuff. So this is pretty amazing. So if we're choosing wedding people, these ones pop up for me because they're ones that I already use, but you can choose to search in here. Right here, demographics. You can choose, let's go with, I want to shoot weddings for people who have a, let's graduated college. So we're going to choose that. Financial, this is an interesting one because, with weddings, a lot of times it's not the couples who are paying for them, it's their family. So you can choose that. But say you're doing families and you shoot a high-end product, you might want to choose, to do the income. You can choose generation, home, different life events, so anniversaries, all these things. In the life events is where you can choose newly engaged. So we have people who have been engaged for less than 1 year, less than 3 months, less than 6 months. So I'm going to choose newly engaged, less than 3 months, and you can choose parents, all parents. This is pretty amazing. So you can choose people because, when they have kids, they put that information on Facebook. If you want to just target moms for what they do, you can do this. It's weird that you don't have like stay-at-home dads or anything like that. So, relationship, you can put, if they're interested in, their relationship status, engaged, any number of those things. Their behaviors, automotive. Do they like motorcycles? Do they like vehicles? Are they going to purchase one? Have they looked at one? All of these things come into play too, not just for what you do on Facebook, but also what you do off of Facebook. When you visit a website, what's called a cookie is implanted in your computer, and that information is then used to market you products that you're interested in. It's super interesting. It's nothing to be scared of. It just happens. You can change your preferences on most websites about that, but really it's to give you ads that are targeted to you because, as a 30-year-old man, I am probably not interested in seeing ads that have to do with baby diapers because I don't have kids. I'm not having kids in the near future. So if I see a lot of ads targeted to somebody who's, has toddlers, I'm not going to be interested. They want to give me ads of the things I'm interested in. So you can choose all of these things. This button down here is super cool because you can exclude people who match a certain behavior. So if I want to exclude people who are in let's do life events, and I'm going to exclude people who are in, let's do newly engaged 1 year. So I'm breaking this down to even smaller range, and that's cool. I think it's cool. Also, say I want to do, you know, brides of a certain type. Like, these are just all the brides who are college graduates who are newly engaged or engaged. But say I want to have a type of bride who likes Martha Stewart. So then I can jump into that, and then it gives me people who are interested in Martha Stewart, or let's say I want to do green wedding shoes. There we go. So now I have these brides who are interested in these things. So that's pretty rad. I could also take my demographics and choose to exclude people who like, whoops, you don't want to put that, BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed weddings. So I can exclude people who like BuzzFeed weddings, but like green wedding shoes and Martha Stewart. So fill all that out. There's lots of things that you can do about that. You can do this add connection type, which is cool. So for me, if I'm trying to gain new customers, you know, people who like my page, they may already see my organic posts. I don't necessarily want to pay for them to, you know, see my stuff. Friends of people who like my page, or I can exclude people who like my page. I think that's pretty rad, so you can choose that. Then you can save this audience. This will let you create this audience as a saved audience so that when you boost a post later, you can choose to do this. I'm not going to save that because I don't think I want to use this one. So then we move on to the placements. So now that we've created all this other stuff, we're moving on to placements. Automatic placements is good to just generally leave clicked. You know, then Facebook can choose, but you can also choose to edit your placements. You know, certain ads may not have the same benefit in certain things. So, you know, think about that. You get to choose all these different things. You always have to leave one. If you say you want to use an ad that's just for Instagram, you can just check off, you know, Facebook, Messenger, and Audience Network, and leave Instagram only in your ad network there. That way your ads will only be shown in Instagram. So if you think that your demographic is going to use Instagram far more than anything else, you can use that. But you can also choose, you know, do you want somebody who's going to be in right column? Do you want instant articles? You know, that kind of stuff. Or just in the feed. You know, I'm just going to choose the feed for this one. And this is where it shows you kind of what those things will look like in those different things. You can roll over them and see as it happens. You can also choose devices, mobile or desktop. So if you only want people to see your ad in a certain platform, that's always interesting as well. You can also choose which ones, if you only want people with iPhones, you know, only want Android devices, you can choose that. It's pretty awesome what you can do with this. So you can do that. Down here, your budget, you know, that's completely up to you. I'm not really going to give much advice down here, but you can think, you know, how is this going to benefit me? There's a lot of stuff that we can go in there. If you want more talk about budget and scheduling, I can jump on that. So here's where you get to choose what you want from your ad. You know, you want people to click on the link and go to your page. You know, this will give people who are more likely to click on your ad link and load your landing page. This is where you need to install a pixel. We can talk about that another time. It's a good idea to install a Facebook pixel. There's plenty of things that tell you how to do that, but there's all these different options for that. So, yeah, you can do these different things. So we're just going to leave this at that. If you have questions, you can leave comments, and I'll try and answer them as best as I can. So now we're going to go into the how to create your ad. So if you have a business page on Facebook, and this is why it's great to keep a Facebook business page, because you need to have, you can't have news feeds ads if you don't have a business page. So that's great. You can add Instagram on here if you want, but we unchecked Instagram, so we don't have that. These formats, there's a whole bunch of different options. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can choose. The cool part about doing the single image is you can create up to 6 different ads, and then you can see which ad is going to perform better with the copy, the headline, and all that stuff that you choose. So you can do that. It's super rad. You can do this with videos. You can do this with slideshows. It's awesome. So we're going to just stay with create a single image. Let's see. When you can either use stock images, which I don't recommend because they're usable by everybody. If you've already done this, you can browse your library and pick images. So I'm just going to click on something random here and go with that. And you have that, and you go into all this stuff, fill it out, and that is basically how you create an ad. Stay tuned to the next video where I will talk more about writing your copy, how to get your headline, all those kind of things. Also throw in some extra tips about which formats to use and things like that. This one was just a beginning video on how to get set up in not Messenger, but in Facebook Ads Manager. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.